In this video, we're going to talk about the new USCIS policy of waiving marriage green card interviews, and we will go over a few timeline examples to show you just how fast some marriage adjustment cases are processed these days.
You know that timelines always play a major role in this process. Since you need to plan your life for the next year or so, having some form of predictability is nice. There is very little predictability when it comes to working with the U.S. immigration services, but we know that these super fast timelines we're about to discuss will give you some major peace of mind, so make sure to watch the entire video.
And by the way, if you feel like you can definitely handle this process on your own, but you just understand how important it is to do this right on the first try, we open applications for our marriage immigration method where we guide couples through the entire immigration journey. You will find all the links you need under this video. First, when I was going through my own marriage adjustment pre-law school, there was no such thing as waived interview. Every couple had to go through an interview, and based on my own experience, it isn't super fun. It's just an all-in-all stressful experience, irrespective of how prepared or confident you are about your case. But let us show you how it's going for the members of our program so you see why right now is a perfect time to apply for your marriage adjustment of status.
The first question couples often ask us when they enroll in our program is how soon they're going to get their green card. It's really very difficult to predict these timelines, but the cool thing is that the USCIS is massively waiving these marriage green card interviews as a part of their new policy. So a ton of couples these days get approved in no time. If you're watching this video, you're obviously considering applying yourself. So watch the video we linked above to maximize your chances of getting your interview waived.
So first, let us clarify why these interviews are getting waived. The Biden administration announced this policy to clear out a massive green card backlog. Essentially, they're saying that if your green card application looks good and it's filed at the service center, there is no need for an interview, and your green card can be approved at the service center without an interview. In these cases, you'd simply get your green card in the mail sometime after applying. That's the reason why we believe you should be filing for a green card right now. You know, immigration is notoriously dependent on the current administration, meaning if we get a new president in 2024 and their administration does not agree with this policy, we will or can go back to couples waiting for a green card for 2 years plus.
And just to get you even more hopeful about your own timeline, let us show you a few examples.
Okay, so here's our marriage immigration method program member Hannah. Hannah and her husband Hansel were able to self-prepare their whole case in about 2 to 3 weeks. They applied for their green card first week of December 2022, and their green card got approved without an interview on February 10, 2023, which took about 60 days. Super inspiring timeline, and you can watch our interview with them to see how their immigration experience went. Another timeline example from Roxana and Wyatt. Interestingly, they also applied for their green card during the first week of December 2022, but their green card got approved on January 19, 2023, so it took about 45 days to get their approval. Let's also look at Monica and Donovan. They applied on January 13th, 2023 and got approved for a marriage green card on March 17th, so all in all it took about 2 months. Same with Angela and Bohan. They applied on January 30th and got approved for their green card on March 19, 2023, so again, less than 50 days. I know you might have some follow-up questions on these timelines, so let us help you address them right away.
First, all of these couples have been married for a relatively short period of time, and none of them have kids. Some of them have very new relationships, and their interviews still got waived because they did everything right from the get-go.
Second, each of these couples is from a different state, so your location is less relevant these days since often they approve these cases at the service center without ever forwarding it to the local USCIS field office.
Third, all of them included their medical exam with their initial filing, and they submitted plenty of bona fide marriage evidence.
Finally, couples also often ask me, doesn't it matter which country the foreign spouse comes from? Some immigrants believe that there is some inherent bias on the USCIS part when it comes to automatically approving cases based on certain nationalities. But just to clarify on that point, all of these couples come from 4 different countries. But if you think to yourself, well, but not all interviews will be waived, and what if mine isn't? I know you're intimidated by the prospect of having to go to your own interview, but let me share one of our members' experiences and their timeline. Eric and his spouse applied for their marriage adjustment of status on November 14, 2022, and they had their interview scheduled for March 7th, 2023 in Los Angeles, which, by the way, for LA is a very quick turnaround. However, Eric's interview was only 10 minutes long, and here's what he's saying about his experience.
So really, submitting a well-rounded application and just generally knowing what you're doing is the key to having a super laid back, and I can even go as far as saying easy, immigration experience. Our fingers are crossed that conditions remain this favorable from here on out.
It would have been nice had my horrible interview been waived, but I'm happy you can potentially avoid such an experience.
Just know with a comment what you think about these timelines. Also, be sure to share what state you'll be applying from and when. We know it isn't the easiest process ever, but just so you know, we're really cheering for you. And we are always supportive of our fellow immigrant couples, so make sure to drop whatever questions you have under this video.
We absolutely want to hear from you guys and help out where we can. Also, just a quick reminder that Marriage Immigration Method is an application-only program. We work with a limited number of couples to ensure that they have a stress-free immigration experience, so you are more than welcome to apply. You'll find all the links you need under this video. Otherwise, subscribe to our channel and we will see you next week.